Welcome to Mahjong Class YouTube Live. You don't want to miss this clinic. It's all about singles and pairs. Follow along using the 2022 National Mahjong League card purchased through my website or the National Mahjong League. I'll put in the chat, or you can look below how to get the card to follow along. Today, for our clinic, we'll be using the website called ilovemahj, and I'll also pop that in the chat. We get a trial week in addition to the 2-week trial they give you, so you get 3 weeks using my code CB, and I will pop that in also. Okay, let's get started. So tonight, again, I said we're going to be talking about singles and pairs category. So I would love for you to chat. If you want to chat with suggestions about what we're going through, or if you have any questions, you can put it in the chat. I'll be monitoring that. And each week, we follow along with a warm-up. We start off with a warm-up. So tonight, hi Shirley from Florida. Hope your weather's nicer there than here. It's a little chilly tonight here. I'm in New Jersey, so welcome. And again, we're going to start up with a warm-up. And so we're going to use, again, the I Love Mahjong site. So the first thing we're going to do is go and start. Let's get there. So when you're on this site, you're going to click play, then game launch. And tonight, again, we're warming up, so we're going to the exercise room. And we're going to start with make a hand. I've gone over several of these exercises that they have. It's great practice for you. So you can go ahead and look at past videos. If you go to my YouTube channel, which is Mahjong Class, which you're on currently, but if you go, you can see a playlist called Lives, and there you will see all the previous lives I did. I have many YouTube videos on there, not only lives, but regular videos that you can review. Again, doing these exercises will improve your skills and help you to become a better player in your Mahjong game. So let's challenge our brains and play singles and pairs. And we're going to warm up and we're going to practice singles and pairs. Some of you might say, I never play singles and pairs, but if you've been in any of my lessons, I encourage you to play them because I think it's a great category. Lots are afraid to play there, but you can earn some really great points there when you play with your group. So let's warm up and we'll go to make a hand. We're going to do sequential order, which is going to bring us to the category singles and pairs. So hit the start button. And it starts from the beginning of the card, but tonight, again, I'm focusing on singles and pairs. So in the upper right here, you can change section. And we're going to click singles and pairs, which will just give us that category to practice. It's starting with the first line of singles and pairs, which is on the card, your bottom right-hand corner, the first line, number 1. So we're going to build it just to start the exercise, because some of you, as I said, have never even looked here. So we're going to start by looking what some of these hands look like. Now keep in mind, I'm going to be mentioning this throughout tonight's clinic, that each of these lines is adaptable to the category. So this first one is winds and dragons. So although it's in singles and pairs, it's almost an extra line in the winds and dragons category. So I urge you that when you're playing to also look to the winds and dragons category if you decided you like this first line. This line is quite easy to make, to remember. It's all pairs of your winds, which is north, east, west, and south, that are famous news, but pairs of it, and then all 3 dragons. So let's build it, and the site's great for building. You just use your mouse and click on each that you need. So I have 2 norths, 2 easts, 2 west, 2 south, and then each of the dragons. And remember, your colors do not indicate which dragon, but just that you needed dragons. So you can have 2 white dragons, 2 red, and 2 green. And I did put too many red dragons, so I can click on the red dragon and it will erase. And so I 2 green. So here you have the hand completed, and you can hit validate to make sure you had the right hand. And it says, congratulations, you correctly matched the specified hand. So we'll move on to the second hand in singles and pairs. And this one, if you look at the numbers, it's all odds. So although it's in the singles and pairs category, it would be like an 8th hand in the odds category, the 1, 3, 5, 7, 9. Now you do have to make it in 3 suits, and it's one color, the 1, 3, 5, 7, 9. And then you have to change suits and use the other 2 suits that you hadn't used. They don't have to be ones. They can be any pair of odd numbers. So I'll make it, I'll show you when we make it, I won't use ones. So let's pick this suit of cracks, and I need 2 ones. This is singles and pairs, we need pairs of everything. 2 3s, 2 5s, all in one suit because it's all the same color. 2 7s, 2 9s, and then I can build it as is with ones. So what that would look like is I have to change suits because my colors change. And right now I use the crack suit, so I have dots and bams left. So I'm going to do 2 1 bams. Remember, that's the bird 1 bam bird, and then 2 1 dots. That is how it looks on the card. But if you read the parentheses, it says any pairs of like numbers in odds. So I'm going to erase these, and I could use 3s if I wanted to, but I have to change the suit. So it has to be 3 dots and 3 bams. Again, I'm going to erase these, and I think I'm going to use, and then we'll close it out for this hand. I'm going to actually do 9. So I need 9 bams because I need a suit we didn't use, a pair, and 9 bams. And you do have to use the same number because it's like numbers. So let's validate this hand. And again, we did it correct. There are only 6 hands in this category, and I wanted to show you, if you were to do all the categories, you can keep a running score for yourself up here in the right-hand corner to make sure you're building the hands correctly. We're 2 for 2 right now, and we're going to continue. This is the 3rd line in singles and pairs, and it has 2 flowers, and then look at that, it's consecutive runs. So this also would be another line in consecutive run category, like number 9, if you would, if you were playing the consecutive run category. So in consecutive run, even though the numbers say 1, 2, 3, we don't have to use 1, 2, 3. You can use the numbers, any consecutive 3 numbers. So maybe we want to use the numbers 7, 8, 9. Or we can use the numbers 3, 4, 5. Let's start tonight with 6. So let's use the crack suit, and we need, first we need flowers. We need 2 flowers. Then we need 6 crack. We need 2. And it's consecutive numbers, and it's the same color, so we have to stay in the same suit. 2 7s, and then we need 8s in cracks. Then we change colors. We then have to change our suit. We have 2 suits left. We haven't used dots and bams. So let's use the dot suit. And we use the number 6 we started with, so we have to continue with the number 6. 2 6s, 2 7s, and 2 8s. And now we've completed this hand in pairs, and we're going to validate. And again, even though this is in singles and pairs, you could think for yourself, don't forget this when you're playing consecutive run. You have another hand you could possibly make. Moving on to the fourth line, this is another consecutive run hand. And again, it's in singles and pairs. So technically we have, what did I say, 9, 10 hands because we have the previous one that we could play with singles and pairs. Now this is all one color. So we have to make it with all one suit of our choice. And let's make it with BAMs. And you would think you need to start with the number 1, but you do not. You do have to have 7 consecutive numbers. So the highest number we could start with is the number 3, but you can also start it with the number 2. Because remember, we only go up to the number 9. So you could start with 3. So let's do 3 BAM. We need a pair. Then we have to be consecutive. So we need 2 4 BAMs. Then we need 2 5 BAMs. 2 6 BAMs. 2 7 BAMs. And this is so good for your brain because your brain wants to follow along the numbers, so it forgets you have to change the numbers. So now we're up to 2 8 BAMs and 2 9 BAMs. And now we have pairs all in BAMs and we can validate. Line 5. This hand is, if you look at the numbers, it's 2 4 6 8. So if you were playing the 2 4 6 8 category, I would also include this line as an additional line I could play. So line number 9, if you will. There are 8 lines currently in 2 4 6 8, and if you pulled the singles and pairs line over, it would make it line number 9. So this one, you have 2 flowers, and we are in the 2 4 6 8 category, so you cannot change the numbers. You have to build the hand as is. It's 2 colors. So it has to be 2 suits of your choice. So you have dots, cracks, and BAMs. Let's start with dots now. We need 2 2 dots, a single 4, a single 6, and 2 8s. Now it changes color. We're going to change suit. And we're going to use BAMs. 2 2s, a single 4, a single 6, and 2 8s. And click validate. Now we're on our final hand, and this is line number 6. Now some people get a little confused on this line. ilovemahj has put separations in it, which is fabulous, but on the National Mahjong League card, there are no separations. So some people think that you can use jokers, but the only time you can use jokers is when you have 3 of a kind. So if we look at this first grouping, which on the card is all mushed together, I like the word mush, it's not all the same. So we can't use jokers here. It's a pair and a single. The second grouping is, you would think, a quint because it's all pushed together and it's 5 numbers. But again, a quint would have to be all the same number, and this is 2 pairs and a single. And then the following grouping you would think would be 6 that you could use jokers, but again, just because they're pushed together does not mean you can use jokers. You have to look at the numbers. And here we have pair, pair, pair. You have to use all 3 suits because 3 colors are represented, and this is the 3 6 9 grouping in singles and pairs. Now, again, if you were playing the 3 6 9 category, this would be the 8th line that you should be pulling for a possible hand in 3 6 9. If you have any questions about what I'm speaking about with the singles and pairs, I hope you're understanding that each of them go to a category because people really miss out on this category, and I think there's some great opportunity there. So if you have any questions, pop it in the chat. I want to welcome anybody who's coming in late. We're going to finish up with this hand, and then we're going to get into playing a game. And each of our games tonight, we are going to try for singles and pairs. So it's going to be a challenge, but that's what's so great about practicing on the computer and on the website. I love Mahjong. So here we go. We're going to build this hand, and we could start with any suit we want. And tonight we'll start with 3 crack. So let's do 2, 3 cracks. The 6 has to be in cracks because it's the same color. And then we have to change colors here, and we get to pick either dots or bands. Let's go with dots. We need 2, 3 dots, 2, 6 dots, 1, 9 dot. Then we have to change color again. And now we have BAMs left. So we need 2, 3 BAMs, 2, 6 BAMs, and 2, 9 BAMs. And we click validate. So we've just completed all the singles and pairs hands, and it will keep doing them. So you can keep practicing them. If you had any issues with any of them, you might want to go back and practice. I did sequential order. You could choose random, and it would pull them randomly. It wouldn't go in numerical in the order they are on the card. You can also change sections again, and if you wanted to practice another section. Or you don't have to pick a section at the very beginning. You could have just did random and just started doing all the whole card. But this is a great exercise to start your morning off or your evening at the end of the day, just to keep fresh on those singles and pairs hands, because hopefully in your next game, you're going to try one. So to exit this, you could hit the little X here, or you could just close your browser if you're on your computer. PC, sorry. We're going to exit, and now we're going to move up, and we're going to practice playing a game. So we're in the game launch, and in order to find this, if you wanted to start from the beginning, we would go to about the home page, and then we do play, game launch, and now we're going to play with bots. You can play with regular people, but I'm choosing to play with bots because it's more of a teaching exercise, and I want to talk in between. And if I was playing with people, I think they'd not be happy with me. But we are going to play official game, which keeps track of all the hands that I win. And you can always go into my stats, and you can see how you're doing and which hands maybe you didn't win or not. Maybe on our next tutorial, I'll talk about my stats and we'll go in and look at it. So you can choose what level of robot you want to play with. I'm going to do intermediate, and we're going to launch the game. I'm going to say no, that I'm not open to live games because I'm not looking to play with others right now. On Tuesday afternoons at 1 o'clock, I always am online playing, and sometimes I have other fellow players join me. So if you want to join me, look in the description below and look for Let's Play. So Tuesdays at 1, I'm always online, so you're welcome to join me in a live game. But tonight we're going to play with the robots. You can go back and look at my other videos about all the descriptions here that you can change. I'm going to just start tonight, and we're going to focus on singles and pairs. So the tiles were dealt, and we are going to sort by suit. This is a perfect example for singles and pairs because we have no jokers. It's going to be a stretch, but we're going to try to make it happen. So I see a lot of 2, 4, 6, 8. So I think we're going to start there. So I'm going to hold on to all the 2, 4, 6, and 8, and I'm going to pass these 3 tiles. Now the game always puts winds and dragons and flowers to the left, which is a little bit unusual for most people how they play, but it's easy to get used to on this game. And I'll be honest with you, I'm starting to like it. I find I'm playing it in my games that I put everything to the left like that, because truly flowers and dragons are in every category. So you really don't need to look at them. I like holding on to them anyway. So we're doing our first right. So let's pass. We got another 2. And so we can get rid of the 5 and 9. Now, if we're concentrating on singles and pairs, because that's what I said we were doing tonight, in singles and pairs, there is only 1, 2, 4, 6, 8 hand. I'm going to focus on that right now until different opportunities arise, meaning we get more of a certain number or we get jokers. So let's get rid of one of the dragons. I don't think it matters at this point, so I'm going to get rid of this one. It's a good thing I got rid of the red then, because now I'm going to get rid of the green with it. We picked up a 6. So we're doing pretty good. We're collecting all 2, 4, 6, 8s. I haven't even looked at the card yet. I'm just collecting 2, 4, 6, 8. Here's another 8. Now we're going to continue with the north 7. Now we have to look at the card. Now the specific hand we're looking at in singles and pairs is line number 5. On that line, it's 2 flowers, and then it's 2, 4, 6, and 2 8s. So I'm going to pick, because I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, I'm going to start getting rid of my BAMs. So let's get rid of the 2, and here we go. Let's see what we got. These are all garbage, and these are garbage. Oh, we got that 2 back. So if you wanted, you could just you could keep the 2 and see how it works out, or you could just pass 2 tiles. Hi, Charlene, and thanks for joining us. And you could just keep 2 tiles, but I think I'm committing to the cracks and the dots. So I want to see if I can get another tile. We can pull another tile. So getting rid of the 7 and the red and the 2. For those of you who are just joining us, we're focusing on singles and pairs, and specifically line number 5. And then we're going to talk about when do you change over to the category that it would belong to, which is the 2, 4, 6, 8 category. This is my courtesy pass. It's my last pass, so here we go. But we're going to push through until we get a tile that makes us choose where we really want to play. Again, focusing on those singles and pairs. We have 2 tiles that we can get rid of before we have to make any decision. How's everybody feeling about this singles and pairs hand? Are we going to do it? Type in the chat. Love to hear. So let's get rid of our first 9. In this game, you do have to hit ignore for each tile, but as long it's really a great tool because it's making you think about each tile. On some of the other internet sites, they will make that decision for you because you're kind of just sitting and waiting, and as the game's going on. This one is making you choose using your brain. Should I keep that tile or not? Yes, Shirley, it does look good, but we have to see how this works out. So let's keep going here and see how it works out. Oh, we got our flower. Very nice. So I had committed that we were going to do cracks and dots. We still have a tile we don't need, but we're getting ready. Let me move over these BAMs so that we're ready to get rid of them. Oh, we got our 2 dot. Very nice. Right? We need 2 dots. So let's get rid of them now. Now this person on my left, you should try to figure out their hand so that you don't throw a tile to them. They have 4, 5, so I'm thinking some sort of consecutive run, probably the second hand down. Remember, we're playing in singles and pairs. We cannot call for anything. It's a closed hand. Oh, nice. We're going to do it, I think. Here's your 8 BAM. So we need another 2 cracks. Exciting. I had no idea if this was going to work tonight or not, but I thought, why not? Let's try it. Oh, that two bam. We don't need that. Let's get rid of this 8. Oh, we got our 6 dot. We are 1 tile away. We need a 2 crack. This is exciting. Now they have jokers here, but we can't use them, but we still want to do the exchange to prevent somebody else from getting them. Now we don't need this flower, we only needed a pair, so let's get rid of it. Now we don't need the 8, we already have our pair and we can't call for it. We picked up a 6, but we only need 1 6. I'm going to keep going and trying for the singles and pairs. We have 56 tiles left, so let's keep going. We need a 2 crack. Now they have 2 up. They're probably playing consecutive run, line number 7. They're playing consecutive run, line number 4. And this one's a little too soon to figure out what they're playing. You don't need the 8 bam. Oh, they beat us. That's crazy. Look at all the jokers. Well, it was a good show for singles and pairs. I'm happy. Sometimes you don't win, and sometimes you just have to feel the reward for yourself of how close we came to singles and pairs. Sometimes the game isn't always about winning, it's your personal win. But this was really great. It was a great example tonight of starting with a singles and pairs hand. Yeah, so close. And again, when you play online, you should go around and look at each of the hands. Now, Wes had 4 9s up. I wasn't sure what he was playing, but he's playing 3-6 line number 2. Joe had just the 3s and the greens. And it's exactly where we thought he was playing with the flowers 1, 2, 3. And this again was consecutive run line number 5, which is exactly where I thought they were playing. But again, 4 jokers, you can't compare to that. But so good here. So let's move on. I'm hoping we can I still want to go for singles and pairs, and I was hoping at some point to show you how to switch from singles and pairs to the category. But this hand was beautiful. I mean, you couldn't ask for a better hand, and sometimes you lose. But let's start a new game. And we're going to sort by suit. And I always look for my pairs. So here's my pairs here. We have pairs of 7s. And so I immediately think the odds hands, 1, 3, 5, 7, 9. And you can look at your other tiles and see what else you have to go with it. But let's think of the odds, and we're going to pull singles and pairs. We're focusing on the singles and pairs category. So there's one hand in singles and pairs with the odds, and it's the second line, and it uses all the odds. So in this case, we'll say all the odds in cracks, and then you need matching numbers at the end. And we are lucky we have 9s and 9s. So let's do singles and pairs, and we're going to focus on line number 2. And so let's get rid of all the evens, excuse me. Now this is not a great pass to do 4 and 6 together, so we can pull that back and maybe do a north. I'm not really worried about passing a 2 and 4 together. In 2, 4, 6, 8, all the 2s and 4s have to be in the same suit. Yes, there are no jokers again, but we are in the intermediate, and so it is a little difficult. They purposely do harder ways to play to help you build your confidence. If you play at the beginners, it's much easier. Again, we're focusing on singles and pairs, line number 2, and I'm doing odds. So we just pulled evens. So let's get rid of the 6, the 8, and the green. We pulled a 5. That's beautiful. We did pull 7, so let's get rid of the 8. Let's put this 9 over here. And we can get rid of the white. And I'm not yet going to get rid of the flower. Let's get rid of the 5 because we have 9s and 9s or 7s and 7s. So we'll have to see which one we get pairs to. Now we did pull a 3, but we're focusing on cracks with 9s or 7s. So let's continue and let's get rid of these last 3 tiles. We pulled a 1 bam, we're looking for a 1 crack, we don't need that, a 6 and a south. We pulled another 5. Now, this is where but we got our 9. I'm gonna keep going with the singles and pairs. I had a little thought about maybe changing, but let's keep going, let's see how this works out. So we can get rid of the 5 dot, the 5 crack, and it doesn't matter. This isn't great, but it's all we have left, and we're in our we are in the last right. We could make a better choice and maybe just pass 2 tiles so that we're not passing 2 numbers. But I'm going to forge ahead and just pass and see what tiles we get. We got all even, so we can do 3 tiles in our courtesy. We got a 3 and a 6. That's not going to help us. So let's move on and see how this pans out. We're trying for singles and pairs, the second line, and we're really struggling because we don't have a 1, and we need a lot more pairs. So this might turn into something interesting, but we'll see when we can switch over. Now we did get pairs of 3s, so let's pull them over because they are in the category that we're working with. So let's just keep them in case we have to change. I always prioritize my discards, how I want to discard them, and I put them in order. So let's get rid of the north. Oh boy, we got another 6. Let's get rid of, I don't think we're going to use those, let's say 5, 6. I don't think we're going to use them. Let's get rid of the 6. We'll stay true to the 1, 3, 5, 7, 9. At least we're just starting out. Now we pulled a joker. We're not quite yet committed to using that, but let's get rid of the 3 bam. There's our first tile. Oh, that's the second 3 crack out. So if one more 3 crack goes out, then we need to switch our hand. So now I am going to switch my hand because we have the makings of 5, 7, 7, 9. Let's get rid of the 3 dot. We still can always go back to singles and pairs, but we seem to be getting a lot more of 1 suit. So I'm trying to pull it together. Now that's the first 7 dot to go out. We need 4 of them, so we can't call this right now. Now they put up 4 green dragons. There's lots of hands with 4 green dragons. We can't really pick that. So we still have the makings of the singles and pairs hand because now we have our pairs of 9s, but we still need a lot here in the beginning. If you want to put in the chat if we should go, oh, now we got this 7-9. I was just going to ask if you wanted to put in the chat if we should change our hands or still try to go for the singles and pairs. Either way, if we change our hands to 5-7, 7-9, we don't need the flower, and we don't need the flower for singles and pairs. So let's get rid of the flower. It's terrible when you get a win tile when you're not even interested in wins. Charlene's saying, let's change. Shirley said, let's change. Yeah, it would be a waste, right, to get rid of all these 9s and 5s. Oh, 7-9. Okay, so we're going to keep the upper numbers now. Let's get rid of the 3 crack. Yeah, I think it's time to change, ladies. Okay, now we have to make a decision. Do we want to do it with the dots or do we want to do it with the BAMs? Now, let's look. I know a 9 dot went out and I think a 7 dot went out. So let's do it with the BAMs because we have, you know, maybe a better chance. Although Wes has got BAMs over here, but let's try it. Now, Shirley, you mentioned we have 1 joker. I sometimes still go for the singles and pairs, even though it's 1 joker. You can always get rid of it. But tonight we have a lot of triples of pungs. So let's go with BAMs. And the reasoning behind it is there's a 7 dot out and a 9 dot, and there are no BAMs out. So let's see if we can make the BAMs happen. Let's get rid of the 9 dot. You want to call that, and you're going to do a Kong. And so we're looking pretty good. Maybe we'll pick up this 6 BAM and we can do a joker exchange. Oh, here comes that 1 crack we were waiting for earlier. So across the way, they have 4 dots with green dragons. So you should be trying to figure, oh, we don't have to figure it out. They just won. So they were playing 2, 4, 6, 8, line number 5 with 3 different suits. So I was going to tell you, I was going to look where we could use the green dragons with 4 dots. And I would look through the card to find opposite dragons. Here, consecutive run, line number 5, 4, 5, 6, 7, all in 1 suit. And this person, Agatha, is playing consecutive run, line number 2. It's 3 flowers, the number 1, 3 flowers with an opposite suit, the number 2. So it didn't work out for us for singles and pairs, but it was good to show you how you could switch hands and when you should switch hands. And I was in total agreement that when you started pulling more of a number and we got down to tiles that we had to make a decision, we definitely moved forward in playing, moving into the category that the singles and pairs was associated with, which was the 1, 3, 5, 7, 9 category. So let's move on to our next game. And again, we're still going to focus on singles and pairs. So here's our tiles. Let's sort by suit. And our big pairs tonight are easts and ones. East and ones do not work together in singles and pairs. East and ones would work together in winds and dragons, but we could still try to work on this. So we can do winds category, and we can keep the pairs of ones isn't going to work unless we do ones with north, south, east, and west, and it's only a single east. But let's see, any suggestions, anyone? You want to share which one you want to do? I'm going to stick with singles and pairs. So I'm looking at the winds hand in singles and pairs with the matching dragons. Or we can do 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Well, we could try that, or let's see. We can keep all the low numbers. Let's do that. We'll keep all the low numbers. So let's get rid of the sevens. And then we have to make a decision here. Maybe this 4. So this is not a great pass to sevens. So I'm going to pull one back. Excuse me. And I think I'm going to get rid of this 1 instead. So let's go ahead and pass that. And I'm focusing on singles and pairs, line number 1. Now what's coming in is possibly consecutive run, line number 3, which would be 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Let's get rid of these last 3 numbers. Now somebody passed 2 sevens. I'm not going to do that. So I think we're going to change to a consecutive of 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, and break up the east. Because we didn't get any wins in that pass at all. So here's our 1, and we have a 5. Now, immediately I see 1, 3, 1, 3, 5, which is consecutive run. We're still going to focus on 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. So let's, with 1, 3, 1, 3, 5 in mind. And I'm talking about line number 6 in the odds. But I'm really focusing on singles and pairs, and I'm trying for line number 3. Let's continue. So I pulled 4, 7, and east. And now we have a 9, a 4, and a 4. Now I would not pass 2 4s, so I'm going to pull 1 back, and I'll get rid of this green. We have a 3, a 7, and an east. We pulled a 3. Now I just realized I have the wrong 5 here. It's 1, 3, 1, 3, 5 dot I need. But we have 1, 2, we have plenty to pass, so we're going to do 3. I am going to get rid of a 4, a 1, and if I get rid of another 4, that means we're passing 2 4s. So let's pull back a 4, and again, this 5 wouldn't be working if we were going to play line number 6. It's 1, 3, 1, 3, 5 dot. So let's get rid of this. Now we're into the game, and at any point, again, I'm still looking for 2s. I did not see 1, 2 go around because I wanted to play 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. So it's possible, again, we're not going to play that singles pairs hand, but let's see what happens. There's our first 2 bam that we needed. Now there's a 3 bam. So in the 1, 3, 1, 3, 5 hand, we need 3 3 bams. But this is the very beginning of the game, and it's the first 3 bam to go out. I would not call it. I would never show my hand right off the bat. I'm missing 5 dots to play that hand, and we have no jokers. Fourth 3 bam comes out, we may have to think about it. Ooh, we got a joker. That's nice. Shirley, we like our jokers, right? 5 dot went out. So we got 9s and red dragons out. We have another flower. I'm not sure what we're doing with these flowers, but they're always good to keep. There are 2 3 dots out. Oh, we can do a joker swap. Don't miss those opportunities. Now we're going to have 2 jokers. That makes us happy. So again, we were focusing on singles and pairs, but now with 2 jokers, I think we're going to switch to that 1 3 1 3 5 hand. So let's get rid of this. So we're probably not using these flowers. If somebody else has a suggestion, type it in the chat. Let me know what your thoughts are. This is the second 5 dot to go out, but unfortunately we don't have is it the second? I thought one went out already. Maybe it was, oh yeah. We don't have another joker, so we can't get it. I hope our hand doesn't get blown up here. Oh shoot, I should have called that. Darn it, I was playing too fast. Now we have to use this here. Okay, let's regroup and let's get rid of this 4. Oh gosh, I think we've blown it. It's only a pair, right? We only need a pair, so we need, let's see how this plays out. I think we're in it to watch it now. I think I made a boo-boo and didn't call this, and you can't go back. But I've done it in a real game. You kind of off in La La Land sometimes, and you forget to call for something. Shall we switch and play 1 2 3? Let's think about that. Here's a complete switcheroo because our tiles aren't coming out. We can play 1 crack or 1 bam, 2 dot, 1 3 crack. Shall we try that? Maybe we could do a total switch. Because 1 2 3 5 dots are out. I'm thinking we should do a total switch. Anybody have any ideas? Yeah, Charlene, it happens when you play. You just miss a tile when you're in La La Land. We could do 1 bam. I don't think any 1 bams are out. Then we can do 2 dot. There is a 2 dot out, right? There's 1 2 dot here, but we can put a joker with it. And then we can do 3 crack. Let's go with that. So it's flower, flower, 1 2 3, and we only have 1 2 dot out. There are no 3 cracks out, and there are no 1 bam, excuse me. So that looks like pretty good, I think. This case scenario, there's 2 3 bams out, so we don't want to play with them. Okay, let's move on, and I'm going to get rid of my 3 bam. And the reason why I switched is we didn't really have enough to call for the 5 dot. We needed some jokers elsewhere. So let's see what happens here. It's interesting. Oh, let's call for the 3 crack. Let's see where we are. Let's call for it. Let's see how we go here. We're going to do a Kong. Makes us feel better to commit, right? We're over halfway through the game, So let's get this game moving. Let's see what everybody else calls for and puts up some jokers. We need some more jokers. Oh, there's 2 jokers available over there. Oh, they're being very generous. Now our hand is set. We are able to call for the 1 bams when it comes out, and we can call for the 2 dots when it comes out. So we are good to go. It makes me happy. That was a lot of switching, right? We went from singles and pairs to 1, 3, 5, 7, 9, and now we're in consecutive run. It's pretty crazy how you move around pretty fast. Again, when you're playing, you should be trying to figure out other people's hands. This one has 8, 9, so they might be playing the same hand as us, 2 flowers, 7, 8, 9. Or they can be playing 4, 5, 6, 6, 7, 8, 9, like all in one suit or in 2 different suits. This hand here, they have 4 red dragons, which, let's see where they could be playing. 4 red dragons and 7s. So in the odds, there's no hand with opposite dragons, so that's not it. 4 red dragons and 4 7s. I assume that they're playing any like numbers, so they're looking for some 7s, and that's the bottom hand in any like numbers. The person over here on the left, we're not really sure what they're playing. They only have 3 5s up, and that could just be about anywhere. So we're moving along. I think they're looking for 7s. They're looking for 7s. They're playing 6, 7 or some sort here. So let's see how it goes. Oh, geez. They pulled a 7, and that's a natural. That's crazy. They got it all naturally with no jokers, and here we're sitting with all these beautiful jokers. But that's the way it happens sometimes in the game. And the crazy ass, like I said, we went from singles to pairs to odds to evens. So it just goes to show you how to change your hand. And I was not stressed at all. Again, I just kind of went with the flow and how my tiles moved me. We probably could have stayed with 1, 3, 1, 3, 1, 3, 5, but the problem was all those 5 dots. There was 3 5 dots out, and we didn't have enough jokers at the time to be able to call if the 4th one went out. And so I was a little nervous about that. But let's move on, and I think we have time. Well, we only have like 5 more minutes, but let's start the next game, and we can go a little over. We have, let's sort by suit. And again, tonight's all about singles and pairs. So we're going to go to a singles and pairs hand. And this is a little odd because we have 1s and then we have 8s. Now, 1s and 8s will never be together on the card this year. I don't think it's ever been on a card. Maybe one of those times when we had addition hands or multiplication, but we're not going to play 1 and 8s together, so we're going to have to get rid of one of them. 7 and 8s obviously do go together. Let's play some sort of consecutive run. And so in the singles and pairs section, there's only 2 hands with consecutive run, and that could be collecting all 1 suit in bams, and it would be from 3 to 8, but boy, we have a long way to go. Or we can play 6, 7, 8 or 7, 8, 9. So let's get rid of all the low numbers. How about we do these last 3? We'll do a 6, a 3, and a 1. Ooh, we pulled a 5. Maybe we'll play an old Bam's hand. Let's see what happens. A 7, a 1, and a 3. A 4, an east. Let's get rid of the white. I'm not worried too much about passing a white dragon. I know I do hold it off typically till the one of the last tiles I pass in the Charleston because it does have a dual purpose of the white dragon or the 0. but I'm not really too worried about it. I honestly have not seen many people play the 2022 category. I just don't know. People aren't playing it in my live games. So let's pass this. Okay, we have 7, 8, 9. Let's continue. And let's get rid of these last. Oh, that is a 1 bam, but 1 to 8 would be too many numbers anyway. So let's get rid of these last 3. Because remember, we're looking at singles and pairs. It would be the numbers 2 to 8 is what we're looking for in bams. If we're going to play the 4th hand down, or the one above it, we're playing like 6, 7, 8, or 7, 8, 9, repeating 7, 8, 9. So let's see what happens. Now this is the other suit, 7, 8, 9, but I'm going to stick with these guys and keep going. Oh, we did get a match. Oh, now we have dragons that match here. Okay, let's see if we can come up with. We can stay true to singles and pairs and keep playing 7, 8, 9, and we can get rid of, I like this 7, 8, 9, 7, 8. Let's get rid of the 3, the 9, and the 7. Oh, now see, this is where I totally would switch because now I'm getting a lot more pairs. I mean, excuse me, triples. But we can get rid of the 3, the 1, and the 5 and still be committed to the singles and pairs hand for 7, 8, 9, 7, 8, 9. But it's not looking too good. And we have 3 tiles to pass. Now, before we get into the game, I did want to mention, again, we were looking to play singles and pairs. We went from the 4th one to the 3rd one. Now, when you're playing that 3rd line, and because we picked up some more of a number, we got a pung of 7s. If you go to consecutive run, the very last line, it is a concealed hand. You can still play between singles and pairs and that concealed hand. The concealed hand will be 7, 8, 9, and we still have that going on. I did keep the matching dragons because thinking ahead, I was thinking we might switch over to consecutive run line number 7, the second from the bottom, because we had all the 7s and 8s. I have no idea where this is going, and I'm not really forcing it to go anywhere. We were forcing tonight to play singles and pairs, but let's keep going and see where it goes. In singles and pairs, though, to play that line number 3, we do need flowers, and we don't have any. So let's see how it goes. Maybe we're playing that concealed hand. And our guy across from us is using those flowers, so let's see what happens. I'm going to keep the 2s in the hopes that if I discard one later on in the game, that, oh, there's our 9 bam. We'll see what happens. Back to the pairs. If I discard one later in the game, maybe there will be someone who will call for one of them and put up a joker, and maybe I could do a joker exchange to get a joker. So we'll keep, again, prioritize your discards to where you know you definitely don't need it, maybe you need it, and let's keep it because it's in the category. So, oh wow, we have 3 2s that we really don't need. But we don't need this 0. I always like to challenge myself, and if you saw, I kind of hesitated with that white dragon because I had the 3 2s, so that did make 2022. And we had the green dragons. I was hesitating to possibly change hands. I always like to challenge myself. Oh, wow. So here we have this 7 over here. We can, let's do the joker exchange so nobody else gets it. And we have a 7 dot over here. We could keep the 5, maybe play 5, 6, 7, 8, like 4 numbers in a row. We don't have any flowers, which is a little tough. We have all these 2s now we don't need. So I think we've really given up on the singles and pairs. That was not a very strong hand for us. But let's start getting rid of the 2s. Oh, you know what? I was just thinking I gave up on singles and pairs, but we do have 2 to 8. Maybe that would work. Let's see what happens. Oh, maybe I did give up so fast. Shirley's asking if I ever got the big hand. No, Shirley, I didn't. I do try for it though, because it is sure exciting to do that. We don't know what we're playing yet. To just call for the green dragons, I'm not going to do that, so I'm going to ignore it. This person over here has 2 groupings up, and it's East and 7s. They're clearly playing East and West with 5, 6, 7, so we have to watch that. And this one has 3 flowers with 9s. Now 3 flowers are all over the card. There's obviously you jump right to 3, 6, 9. Then you can also have 3 flowers in 1, 3, 5, 7, 9 with 9s. So already you're seeing 2 hands. Then you can have 3 flowers in consecutive run. It can be 8, 9, line number 2. You can have 3 flowers but like numbers. 3 flowers is just too hard to figure out. I'm not going to worry about it right now across the way. Let's get rid of the white dragon. So they need this 6. So I'm going to get rid of it sooner than later because they need 5, 6, 7. So they need a pair. Let's get rid of it now. Oh, that's good. They're getting rid of the 5. So maybe it's blowing up their hand over here, but let's see what happens. We don't need the 1 bam because it's 2 to 8. So let's get rid of that. Seven dot, we can exchange. Don't miss those jokers exchanges. It's not very nice for us. So now we have to make some sort of decision here on what hand we're playing. But let's see. Let's get the tile to push us. 2 dot. I'll tell you what, these bots that are in I Love Maj, they're super smart. Oh boy. Now we have to figure out our hand now. Let's see, what should we do, ladies? Does anybody want to pop in the chat and figure out what to do? We could play. We have no flowers, but it doesn't mean we can't play it, but we're missing 6s. We could play 5, 6, 7, 8, but then we got to get rid of those dragons. It's a tough decision, isn't it? We could play a quint with 4 flowers, number 7, 8, but then we'd have to get rid of the dragons. Well, let's not make a decision quite yet. Let's start whittling away at the bottom end of this and see what happens. Oh, wow. I don't know. 4 jokers? Don't forget about this 9 crack over here. Oh, that's crazy. 5 jokers. What a way to end the night. Are we going to be able to pull a pair of 6s? I don't know if we're going to be able to do this. Let's try for the quint. Why not, right? Let's try for the quint. Let's get rid of the 5. I'm looking at the quint, the 4th line down, and I'm going to play it 7/8 with flowers. Now, there are 3 flowers out, so the next flower I'm going to have to call. This is crazy. I've never gotten this many jokers. But we are set. I wish I had this wind earlier because I probably would have played the quint, the first line with the dragons, with the wind, and with. Well, let's keep moving along. That was a little nervous. I shouldn't have maybe thrown that because this person east and west. So we're gonna call our 7s because we're gonna do our quint. Now we need a flower. I got to tell you, this is the first time I've ever seen all these jokers. This person probably has some flowers sitting there. So it might not work for us, but why not try, right? We're playing online. We're playing against bots. It's exciting. I can't believe all those jokers. Oh, he's playing 369. Interesting. Yay for us! We got mahjong. That's exciting. You never know. You never know. That's crazy. Wanted to share with you some information of a 3-week trial if you would like to join I Love Mahj. And you can join with using the code CB. My name is, I probably should have said this in the beginning, but my name is Christine Blackford, and that's what the CB is for. And so you can join with that code. And I hope you enjoyed tonight playing and looking how you can start with singles and pairs and move into the categories. And again, what line you pick really is an extra hand in each of the categories it's associated with. And you saw how we moved all over the card, switching hands. And sometimes you don't win, but sometimes it's really exciting. So try to yourself on I Love Mahj. I really do enjoy the site and want to, again, try the 3-week trial. I wanted to thank you if you're a YouTube subscriber. I appreciate all your support. You can click to subscribe below, right below the YouTube Live. You can click a thumbs up if you enjoyed tonight's clinic. You can share it with your friends and let them know about every Thursday. We have a clinic live and I teach different things. Tonight, again, we focused on singles and pairs, which I thought it turned out really well. It showed you how to switch. And it also showed that you could make a singles and pairs hand, or almost. If you want to leave a comment, I would love if you left a comment below. And if additional, you can be a super supporter if you wanted to donate to support me. But these are free ways which you can help me out. Also, our next I Love Mahj clinic will be January 3rd. We are skipping next week. I have some family coming in, so I'm going to have some family time with the holiday. So I wish you all a very good holiday and all the best coming into the new year. So I will see you January 3rd for our next live clinic. Also, we have I play every Tuesday. Let's Play, where I play live with other members of the I Love Mahj community and that are members of my group. And my group is called Mahjong Class. So if you look below in the description, you'll be able to join my group and we can play live on Tuesdays. Our next Let's play is Tuesday, January 3rd at 1 o'clock, and that's Eastern Standard Time. And as I already mentioned, we're skipping a week. So January 3rd on Tuesday evening at 6:30 Eastern Standard Time, we will have our next live. Please drop in the chat any information that you want to see talked about, and I'd love to share that with you. If you want to connect with me, you can connect on Instagram with Mahjong Class. I post different things there, events and topics, and sometimes some videos. You can connect with me on YouTube, and you can connect with me on Facebook. If you look up Mahjong Class, you'll find me there. I have a webpage, Mahjong Class, where I list all my events, and I have different things listed throughout there for any workshops I do. I'd love to hear from you and hope you'll join me. I also obviously teach beginner, intermediate, and I teach a new card workshop in April. So if you're interested, you can email me at mahjongclass@yahoo.com, or you can give me a call. So thank you for joining me tonight. And again, I'll see you January 3rd in the new year, and either play with me at 1 o'clock in the afternoon or join me at 6:30 for our next live clinic. Thank you, and have a wonderful celebrating the holidays with your friends and family. Take care.